All right, thanks for staying with us now. Bakers under the Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria have announced plans to halt production of their products effective Thursday, 21st July 2022. Now, according to a statement signed by the president of the association, Emmanuel Onwara, operating a bakery in Nigeria has become almost impossible as the incessant increases in the prices of baking materials and diesel have affected the industry negatively. Onwara said bakeries were running in losses and the situation was no longer sustainable. Now, according to him, bread is a staple food and one of the cheapest grab-and-go food that is available for both the poor and the rich. The cost of living in Nigeria keeps getting worse, so much that what is considered the cheapest food to get is now becoming inaccessible, right? What is the impact of this food inflation, especially on our staple food like bread? I mean, cakes are a bit, you know what, it's luxury, pastries as well, you know, but what is the impact this inflation is having on, right, on our staple food? Now, that's the question. Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-8663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. So before I bring up Vivian Mosimabale, I was going to say that, you know, today I sent my staff to the market to help me get some plantain and yam. One yam tuber is 2,700. And she said to me that, the yam was not up to this size. It was not something fantastically like big and all of that. So I'm just wondering, so this thing that we're talking about is really eating deep, is hitting home.
Every single item on the list.
Yes. Every so it's no longer, so I had to send her to my 12 to go and get a K2 market to buy me the bunch of plantain, because if normally the plantain we normally used to buy on in traffic for 500 naira, they're like 2,000, 3,000 naira now for the same
What was the cost of sending her to the
I don't even know, but at least she was able to buy bulk.
Other things and just,
do you understand? She was able to buy bulk for me, because if I start to calculate like that, we will not eat again.
We won't.
Do you understand? It's actually expensive, and I don't even know. I mean, a friend of mine that owned a bakery in Ikorodu, right? When he started the bakery, I mean, he could tell you, okay, X amount of bags of flour could produce XYZ amount of loaves of bread. Now, all those things are drastically little. Today, I was watching an interview on another TV channel where they were talking about bread, and, you know, the guy kept on saying that a lot of bakers, first of all, now they have to go and take flours and all of those things on credit. So a lot of them are running their bakeries
on a credit basis,
and so they are bearing huge losses. You understand that it can no longer continue. So
and bread that people are thinking that, oh, it's a luxury per se. It's not really. We eat it with everything. We eat bread and akara, bread and
ewa going. That's breakfast for everybody.
I'm telling you. So you've taken everything else from us. Now we're going to lose bread too.
You know, so I mean, bread I used to buy for 800.
I know they say man shall not live by bread alone, but bread.
We need bread. Now, Vivian Mosimabale is the managing director of Pavian Cakes. She is a graduate of mining engineering with a degree in Bachelor's of Engineering and associate member of Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. She worked as a human resource personnel before proceeding into cake and pastries. And she's joined us live via Zoom. Thank you so much, Vivian. Might I add, she joined us on very short notice, but thank you so much. When we have guests that are able to join us on short notice, we're excited about it. But Vivian, thank you so much. First of all, how is the baking world treating you? Do you want to go back to paid employment?
She'll probably say no.
You know, sometimes you just think about it. Oh, that's the right way to go right now. But this is what we have passion for. This is what we love doing. So I wouldn't want to go back to paid employment. I still want to do this. But really, right now, the baking industry is boiling. That's the truth.
So tell us a bit of the situation that you are facing as a baker in Nigeria today.
Oh, there's inflation on everything. You know, the flour is inflated, the sugar we use is inflated, the butter we use is inflated, Diesel is inflated. Like you rightly said, it's so difficult producing half a bag of flour. Normally, you could say when I have so quantity of flour, I can produce a particular number of bread
Loaves.
or cakes. But right now, it's not happening that way at all. Because even the producers of flour have reduced the quantity. Now, a colleague of mine was telling me today that, oh, Vivian, be careful when you go to the market to buy flour because right now they are mixing cassava
Mixing.
with
Did you hear
flour.
that?
Oh my God.
So it's even now, it's even a different ball game because people want to be in business, people want to sell, and they still have to survive. So people are cutting corners. They're cutting corners just to make ends meet. So you go to the market that you want to buy a bag of flour, 5 bags of flour, you end up buying wheat, you end up buying cassava.
Oh
So
my
right
God.
now it's different. It's a different ball game. You look this way, there is expenses. You look this way, your cost of production is hitting the rock. I mean, how do you survive? How do you survive with inflated prices everywhere? Before you know, the way we are going, bread is going to be a luxury. Cakes and pastries are also going to be a luxury. It's going to be for anyone, not everyone, just few people that can afford it. And that's not what we want. Bread is meant to be a stable food, but right now, there's nothing stable about it. Too.
All right. So, Vivian,
Yes.
I went into a bakery today to buy some pastries, and the meat pie I would buy, or chicken pie that I would have bought for 200 naira or 250, right? 250, 300 for chicken, then 250 for meat pie. They are all 500
It's
naira
now
now.
450.
Meat pie that has no meat in the first place.
Actually, it's actually 500 naira. Do you understand? So while I was trying to order the pastries,
Yeah.
a woman walked into the bakery and she was saying that, but I'm a baker too myself now. Oga, is this not too much that I bake too? So the man was now asking her, please, madam. So while they were deliberating on that, because I had finished my transaction and I left. Are you sure that 100% you are guaranteeing us that this price hike is not some bakers trying to take advantage of the situation? Is it the reality in itself? Can we at least get, because at the end of the day, Vivian, now us they suffer. It is us, the consumers, that are really suffering the brunt. Petrol is going high. Food is getting high. Rents are getting high. What's it called? School fees is going high. There's nothing you touch. Electricity is going high. But our salary is the same. So how are we going to cope? So are bakers being sincere in this price hike?
Very sincere. That's the actual price. That's the reality on ground. It's biting hard on everyone. That's actually the reality on ground. There's no way to run to. You go to the manufacturer, that's the price is given to you. You go to everywhere, that's the same price you're getting. So it's not the bakers that are hiking the prices. It's not the bakers. That's what they're getting the materials. That's the rate at which we're getting the materials. Okay, let me give you an instance. Some months ago, barely 7 months ago, we could buy a bag of flour for 11,500 naira. Do you want to know how much a bag of flour sells as of today?
38 from 11.
28,500 naira.
Wow.
That is double. That's double the price. And it's not just flour you use in producing bread, cakes, and pastries. You have butter, you have sugar, you have eggs. And even eggs right now, a crate of eggs is about 2,000, 2,004 for good, big quality eggs. This same thing we usually buy at, say, 900. So
Okay, I think
that's the reality. That's just
you
reality.
said they were threatening a strike, right? If there were a strike, and what resolution are you hoping to find? What would the strike achieve if they asked you for what your
Demands
solutions should be. What are your demands? What do you think, who are you demanding, making the demands to? And what would the resolution be? Because threatening a strike and actually going on strike is just putting some of you out of business. Someone else that can get these supplies or doesn't even see the cost as a major issue, which we know some people do exist that run businesses not really because they want to make money, but because they're laundering money. If they took advantage of this market right now, what would the advantage be for you, and how would you be brought back to the table?
Okay, so I mean, if that happens, that will not go well with most bakers. Truthfully, that will not go well, and we are not. That's not what we are hoping for. We are hoping, and we are praying that these prices should be looked at. Should be looked at because you go to the market, you go to the producer to get this item, and they have inflated it. They have increased their prices. So what do you expect us to do? There's really nothing I can do when I go into the market and I buy a bag of flour for 28,500. I'm about to produce a number of cakes or bread, and I'm not able to meet up. Any baker that says they're meeting up with production this time around, like you say, they probably just have money somewhere they are putting into the business. It's not the business.
Okay, so I hear you, Vivian, and I know that part of what they had complained about, I think it was it Uti that took this story, you know, part of what they are complaining about is the monopoly, especially for things like maybe sugar importation, right? Do you think that it will be helpful if maybe bakers are given the opportunity to source? Because I mean, hearing you say that, yeah, because it's somebody that is putting the prices of things. It's somebody that is controlling who at what cost certain things are being sold. Because I know that sugar, it has a monopoly in this country. There is no, you know, any player that wants to come into that sugar business, they will just kill you. You are dead on arrival because the big players would, you know, crash their prices and run you out of the business, right? So do you think that the monopoly happening in the industry, especially with the big players that bring in these raw materials, you know, should we be looking into that as finding a way? Because I still don't want to believe that, you know, it is going as high globally as it is, you know, as the price is hiking. No, I don't believe that it should be that high. Yes, there's inflation happening everywhere around the world. But do you think if you had a bit of control as to the costing of from source, would it help to
change?
As
more options of suppliers of your ingredients and your commodities.
Would it help? Definitely help. It would help. Yes, it would help. The monopoly has to be broken. Because right now, the big players are just holding everyone to ransom. You don't want someone else to bring in this, and because you're the only one that's bringing in this, you can fix prices as you want. So the monopoly has to be broken. If not, there will be no headway.
Have you made comparison in prices? You know, the same way where everybody is saying, oh, petrol is so expensive in Nigeria. 1 liter is about 175 naira. And in America, they're saying that it's about $6 to a gallon. And when we compare exchange rates, it still seems that the naira that we are paying for our petrol is cheaper than what they're paying in America. Absolutely. Have you made comparisons to what your counterparts in foreign countries are saying about the cost of these commodities as well? Whether it's actually increased or not?
Yes, we have a fair idea that there's inflation all over, but it's not comparable. It's not comparable to what we are facing here in Nigeria. Of course, they have an increase in their prices also, but it's still understandable. You can still run with the inflation, with the price increase over there, compared to the price increase we have here. It's not comparable.
So I have a question, Vivian. Help me out, because Now, it be like say when we want to do birthday, we go mix garri, we go make a rice, use a snap picture.
No, we can do what Bobrisky did and put a cardboard underneath and just decorate it for picture. And give people cupcakes or nothing at all. It's not by force for you to eat cake.
You know, because Vivian, on a serious note, let's move to cake. I ordered a cake of 16,000 naira. I was expecting one gigantic cake to come. When I saw the cake, I was weak.
It looked like the cover of a Tupperware bowl.
You know, so help me. You said what, Vivian?
I say a 16,000 cake has to be a small cake.
Vivian, but it was not so. In the beginning,
it used to be about 23 inches of width.
So
at a time.
With the current reality of things right now,
so
just our reality.
Vivian, help me out. Walk me through this costing. How do you cost your cake? Because it is ridiculous. So I know they order birthday cake again. Just give me the money instead. I'll use it to go and buy something else.
Dash the child the money itself and let them go and use it for something else.
You know, so walk me through.
Let me run you through the costing of producing a cake.
Yes.
Okay, now, so I need to produce for instance, an 8 inches cake, which is a medium cake for a birthday. I'll think about the flour I'm going to use. I'll think about the butter I'm going to use. Now, for you to use good margarine to produce your cake, you have to spend money. I mentioned earlier that the cost of egg have actually also gone up incredibly. And these are the 3 vital ingredients that makes up a good cake. You need flour, you need butter, you need sugar, you need eggs. And these prices have gone up so bad, that you need to, by the time you calculate your cost on just a medium-sized cake, you are spending about 11,500 to produce this cake you are talking about, an 8 inches cake. Remember, you are still going to pay rent. You are going to run the generator because there's no light. There's practically no light anywhere in Nigeria. You are going to run diesel. You are going to buy diesel to run the generator. I mean, do you also know that gas has also gone up? To fill up a 0.5 cylinder of gas is about 10,000 naira. It used to be 2.8 just 8 months or a year ago. It's now 10,000. So by the time you put all of this together, you have staffs to pay, of course. You're going to take off salary. You have salaries to pay. You have. The truth is that the cost of production is high.
Encompasses a lot of items.
There's no way you can produce at say 15,000 naira and then you sell at 10,000 naira. It doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. In fact,
that doesn't make sense.
You are actually just hitting the point on the head, because I bought gas actually today at 10,500.
Large or small?
The 12.5 kg. Okay. I bought it at 10,500.
12.5 kg.
Yes, 10,500. But let's take a very short break, right? When we come back from the break, we'll take your comments and we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, they say we should not be eating bread again because food inflation, that's what we're talking about, and the impact on bread, cakes, paste, anything that has flour in it, run away. All right, and we have Vivian Mosimabale, right? She's with us. Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. All right, so... Lady, you have some comments. Let me also take some comments. Go ahead.
I have one that says, greetings, ladies. A little prism into the farmer's world. When the cost of bag of fertilizer becomes equal or more than a bag of maize or rice or flour, food security has entered red alert. This is besides other inputs of chemicals, labor, logistics, and government taxes and extortion, diesel, etc. Certainly, many may already be feeling the impact on the pocket and available portion on the plate. As the elections approach, decisions must be issue-based, with clarity on how it will be addressed. before thumbprinting. Without deliberate actions, the Tusk remains, Benson says. So I think at the end of the day, what everybody is trying to say, or what we all know, is that we need a shift in government and strategies and techniques. And that may be the only solution to get us things sorted, because there's really no other way. If we keep doing business as usual, we'll keep getting the same results, and it would only get worse.
That is insanity.
Insanity. Except we have a group of people that would change how things have always worked, remove monopoly from the markets where commodities are concerned, because when it's major commodities and they're staples, you can't let just one man have control of everything.
It is ridiculous.
Which is why I was saying that this is how some people control elections. When someone has the monopoly of such commodities, he would only support a government that favors his
continued
business.
In business.
Do you understand? Mm-hmm. And there are many people like that in the back that you don't even see, you don't even know they have a hand in government, but this is how governments are made. So take away monopoly from a lot of people.
So my sister, there is nothing that is working in Nigeria. Can you just imagine bread has become food for only the rich? At the moment, we are in pain, all of the nation under the present government of the day, and they don't care. All they are after is how to win elections as if they know tomorrow. It's terrible and annoying. Great topic today, Bobby Kennedy from Jalingo. Thank you, Bobby Kennedy, for your contribution. Someone says the lady with pink hair, her name is Vivian. The lady with pink hair is making good points. Waiting happen. Oh, okay, that's
yesterday.
That was yesterday's show.
I was like,
all right. So, Vivian, let me come back to you. Sorry, they're watching it on GoTV. Vivian, let me come back to you. So, I like the fact that you've broken down the costing for us, right? So it makes sense. It makes clarity as to how we can understand where the bakers are coming from. But if you had something, that you are going to be telling us, as the people that are the consumers of your product, because what eventually I see happening is people just completely, staying away from anything, pastries, cakes, or whatever. They just stay away from it and just go and look for food at this point, So how do we start to manage expectations even from the people? Because I remember I ordered some brownies, and the lady told me that, if we go by the old price, right? That the old price is, so no, they had reduced the pieces, the number of cubes of brownies that I would get.
Yes.
But if I want to maintain that exact same size and
the
number, that I just needed to add an extra 1,000 naira on it.
That wouldn't sound bad.
So it didn't stand bad to me. I said, please give me the old size, and I bought it. So how are you managing, right, your customers? How are you managing to explain to them, and not so that you do not also, because this would have a major impact on small businesses. Businesses will lose, customers. So how are you managing that with your customers?
Okay, like you rightly say. So for me personally, I try to make you understand where things are right now. I could advise you to go for a smaller cake instead of a bigger cake. So if the size of cake you used to get before for, say, 25,000 naira, right now that same size is going for about 40,000 naira.
Okay.
I advise you, okay, you want a cake, you need to get a cake, because I also need to be in business. Let's come to a compromise. Let's do a smaller cake for you. But if you don't mind that you can still pay for the same size of cake you always want to get, you have to add a bit more money to get that same size. So really, it's just understanding. Most of my clients understand that things are happening. We don't want to cut down on quality. We still want to give you the best, which you've been getting from us way back. We don't want to cut down on that quality. So you understand that for us to still maintain the quality and give you, okay, now let me digress a bit. So something is happening in the industry. People are bringing in things just to make for a makeshift to get a piece of cake. Now, I have someone I order for food from. The guy called me and was telling me that, madam, I want a cake. And I'm like, oh, your location is quite far from me. Why do you want to get a cake from me? Because I'm really far from you. He said, because I know you. I know the things you buy. I know how you still buy the items used in producing cake. Right now, the market is flooded with a mix.
It won't be flour mixed with cassava.
A mix that you can just mix and just bake a cake. And the guy says it's very dangerous, but people don't know. So you might even see a cheaper cake right now, and you feel that, oh, I'm buying a cheaper cake, but the truth is that good cake is not cheap, and a cheap cake is not good right now. So you need to understand that if you have to consume cake, you need to understand that things are not the way they used to be. We can either go smaller in quantity or you go higher price you're willing to pay.
But let me ask Vivian, because we had talked about the airline and we talked about collaboration, right? So are bakers coming together to collaborate? So here's my thoughts, right? If, for instance, probably I have a big production house, and maybe the production has gotten drastically low based on all of these challenges that are happening. If I'm able to find other bakers that have the same, because it's the same capacity.
Now, can we all come together?
Yes, it's the same diesel that we will burn, that if we were baking one, it's the same diesel we used to bake 500.
Yes.
So are there thoughts in the line of collaboration?
If you're near my neighborhood, can we join forces?
Are you people thinking in that light as the bakers? Because if we are able to collaborate, maybe our prices might not necessarily need to go.
Maybe they would only increase by 30% as opposed to what you said is like 100%.
Like 50% or 100%.
Yeah.
So is there anything like that happening?
There's a lot of collaboration going around. Sometimes I come together to say, let's work together. Let's do this together. Just like you rightly said. Let's do this together. Let's see if we can reduce cost of production. But the truth is, even if we all come together, all the bakers in Nigeria all come together and say, let's collaborate and produce together. The only cost that will be reduced is cost of diesel.
All the ingredients will still cost the same.
Expenses are still there. All the because the thing is, for you to have a good bread, for you to have a good cake, it requires ingredients. It requires materials coming together. And the prices of these materials are not reducing in any way. Even if you are buying bulk, even if you are doing a lot of bulk purchase, the price is not reducing.
But
so you are still stuck in a way. The only, of course, there will be a reduction in production costs, but the only reduction you are having is reduction in diesel, probably.
No, but I don't think it's only diesel. Let's break it down, Vivian, because you mentioned manpower, you mentioned electricity, you mentioned, of course, which is the diesel, you mentioned manpower, you mentioned diesel. If we were going to put a costing like that, diesel is a significant change. Because I know that diesel came from like maybe 100 and something, maybe 200 and something, all the way to 700 something, 800 naira per liter, right?
But she's saying that even with the diesel and electricity covered, and we've collaborated and said, oh, let's cooperate and do from one. So I'm coming to the
material area now. I'm coming to the material area, but I'm saying that if we check the cost of, it's not a small, it's a significant savings.
Yeah. So 20% at least.
Can we not then match that up with the cost
20%, maybe 20%.
Now, wow.
She said maybe 20%.
Vivian, you sure say you want to with the chop cake again?
I think what they're trying to tell us is that we should take a break from eating cake and bread. But that won't happen.
Take a break from eating cake. We need you to eat cake. We need you to eat bread. We need you to eat cake.
People are doing celebrations every day. Weddings,
I'm saying
birthdays.
You would also need to know that to get these cakes done, to eat this cake, it's coming at a cost for both you and for me.
What is our way forward now?
Delay children's wedding.
Should we start ordering fruit cakes so that we do like, you know, those cakes that you can preserve for 500 years? Those kind of cakes. Should we start to order those types going forward?
You know, fruit cakes are actually quite expensive.
They're very expensive.
Compared to the normal angel cake and vanilla cake and sponge cakes that we take. Fruit cakes are very expensive. There's no way out. The prayer is that regardless of what the economy of the jungle is, we shall never eat grass.
Amen. We won't eat grass.
Exactly.
All right, so let me take a comment.
That's our prayers right now.
Good evening, ladies. It's really disheartening to hear how prices of foodstuffs are increasing daily. I have a question for Vivian, right? If the flour is mixed with cassava, is it still okay and safe to consume such? Is there any alternatives? This present government has borrowed so much and nothing to show for it. If we don't get it right this time around, I'm afraid of the future of this country. Thanks and have a good weekend. This is from BC. So BC has really asked a very valid question, you know, that I also thought it's important that we talk about it. Cassava is not so bad because I remember during Jonathan, why are you eyeing me with corner eye, lady? During Jonathan's regime, there was a time in this country where they were seriously considering using cassava flour to make bread. I think they even rolled out some, but I don't know how that eventually ended up, how it's, you know, why it's not, you know, because I thought at that point there was so much rave around cassava bread, but it didn't really catch as much fire as it should have. So, but where there's a mixture of cassava flour with the regular flour, the wheat flour, what is the outcome and is it safe for us to consume?
Cassava in itself is safe to consume. So it's not bad because our gari is made from cassava.
Of course.
We have so many things that are made from cassava that we are consuming and we are healthy, we are okay. But the thing with cassava in flour, especially when the cassava is more than the wheat, you do not have a cake anymore.
You will have amala, rock solid.
It's not cake, it's something else you have.
But how do we tell the difference? You know why? When I was growing up, remember all those Ghana cakes that they used to buy? It used to be like bread. It wasn't, but they called it cupcakes. But when you cut the cake, you were feeling the, you know.
There's muffins, there's cakes, there's different consistency that you make your flour and
right, they were more
mixes.
like muffins, but they used to call them cakes. But I'm saying, can we not just?
But we know cake and we know bread, and we know that more or less it's the same system of ingredients, just different proportions of ingredients in making these things. So if I wanted a particular taste, it's like me asking for vanilla and you give me soya milk ice cream and then you tell me that just manage it. It's not the same.
No, so but I was going to ask.
Get a cake.
I was going to ask that since wheat is supposed to be imported, Abi, it's not local. We don't really have
enough quantity of it.
Farmers doing that. Can we actually explore the possibility of using our own homegrown raw materials, which is the cassava? Is there a way to refine it in a way that it gets to that point that it will give us great taste? Have you guys experimented on that?
I like the way you sighed.
Because here in Nigeria, to experiment on things like this, there's a lot of things that's going to be involved.
No, but
so I'm sure someone is doing that. I'm sure one or two people are trying to do that.
Because they said
you can use corn and
what is the mother of invention? Necessity.
Yeah.
Is the mother of invention. So I'm just saying in my head, because you see, I hate to leave a conversation without actually trying to prefer a solution, right? So growing up, we used to experiment a lot in the kitchen. Do you understand? We used to experiment a lot. There was a time we used to do eba buns. We made eba, mix it with egg, and it tastes really great. You mix it with egg, you then fry it, you now eat it with yaji pepper. It's really nice. All those things were birthed out of experiment. But guess what? A lot of people actually do those things as what's it called? Snacks and all of that. Now, You know, but there were experiments that turned into something great. So my point is, can we start to get our bakers to be a lot more innovative with the raw materials that can be sourced locally and cheaper? Is it possible? I could try if you call me tomorrow. Vivian, wait. If Vivian calls me tomorrow and say, I just baked what's it called, cassava cake for testing, I will come and taste it, right?
You know how they say a rose by any other name is not a rose. You can make eba with what did you mix with it?
Producer, please off her mic.
No, I'm just saying, let's play both sides of the coin. You can make eba whatever. It's a new invention. It's the same way that you have native rice, you have fried rice, you have jollof rice, they have different.
My best rice is still our ofada rice, the local one.
That's what I'm saying. We have basmati.
1 minute. It cannot just be a cake.
You say it can never be the same.
It won't be a cake. You have long grain rice, you have ofada rice, you have whatever it is, it's what it's going to be called.
Wait.
It is not a cake.
I don't like this conversation where you are going.
It's just an alternative.
Vivian, why will it not be a cake? Why would it not be a cake?
You can give it a different name.
It has to come with a different
name. No, but who gave us the ingredient of a cake? Who gave us that ingredient? As
the same way we gave people ingredients of amala and eba.
May Vivian answer this question. Who gave us the ingredients as cake? Do you understand? I'm saying, who says that we cannot start to say, oh, this is Nigerian homegrown cake that is made from cassava flour? I'm just asking.
We are saying the same thing. It's not just be a cake.
You will qualify it with a different.
I think today I'm in a mood for a lot of arguments.
Yeah, I think you just want to be difficult. You will have to qualify it with a different name. You can't just call it cake. The same way that they will say one is a velvet cake, chocolate cake, sponge cake. They have different names.
Okay, so let me read. I think somebody's on my side. But you didn't put your name. It says we should learn to use other things for bread or cake making. We should learn to use other things for bread or cake making, like cassava, just like the Mexicans use cassava to make ice cream. Vivian, this is for you. To make ice cream people consume. People are doing more researches today for many things to survive in the world.
True.
You can use corn to make bread and cake, right? So please experiment so many things. Please experiment so many things with what we have around us. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it might. See, our taste bud can get used to it. Because trust me, if you give me that same size I used to buy for 16K, even though it's cassava that it was made from, very soon my taste bud will adjust.
What we're saying is just qualify the name of what it is.
It's still a cake.
It's a cake, but akara is called African.
It's being cake.
Yeah, it's a cake, but we know when we say, for your wedding, for your birthday, there's this particular cake you want. You can't have it, but let people know. Open declaration.
Okay, we have 3 minutes to go. Vivian, so if you had something
Open
to say
declaration.
to us, what would you say?
Okay, so not to leave out the fact that new things cannot come up, not to leave out the fact that that cannot even be used for baking. But what we are seeing right now is that at the moment, right now, we need to produce, right? We need to still do stuff until we're able to go back to the drawing board and see what else can be done. How do you survive now? How do you survive now? That's what we are talking about now. We are hoping, we are praying that the time will come, we'll be able to devise other means of producing our staple, bread, cakes, and pastries. But right now, the option we have on one right now, what do we do? What do we do as bakers when we cannot even afford to buy the things that are available? What do I do when I come to you and I tell you that the price for bread is now $8.50? It's now 900, 950.
It's actually 1,000 naira. Yes, it's 1,000 naira now I buy.
So for now, if you put your items on our side, what is there for you to do? Just take a break till things change?
No, I don't think so.
For them as bakers?
I don't think so. We don't want to do that. We don't want to take a break. If we take a break till things change, how do you
resuscitate the business?
But on a final note, on the Vivian, on the final note, on the strike, are you all together in sync with that? Are you agreeing to that strike? Because the bakery I went to today, they are really producing.
Like I said, some people don't need to
Are you guys
go by
together
prices.
as a voice, as Association of Bakers, you know, truly going to go on that strike?
Yes.
Okay.
Beware of those that don't need the profit, that are just doing it to run a business to prove they left the house, because they will take advantage of this period.
We are watchful of those, yes.
Period.
She's mindful of them. But thank you so much, Vivian. I think we've had an amazing conversation. Even though we are tackling you small, but I believe, Vivian, I see you as an innovative person. I believe you're going to call me.
Cassava.
Hold on, let me finish my thought. I believe you're going to call me and say, Uwa, I just made a masterpiece out of cassava flour. Come and have a taste. And I'll be glad to come and taste it.
And you'll be glad to buy it also.
Of course, of course, of course. Thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you, lady. We had a fantastic, what a great way to wrap the conversation for the week. Now, before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. There are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread. Hunger is real. Poverty is real. So whatever it will take for us to get at least our stable food prices within the reach of the poor, that is what we are hoping for in Nigeria. So we'll see you guys live at 8 p.m. tomorrow as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.